Right, we've got a couple of coats of primer on, and now I'm going to use a high build filler primer. Just find it, here we go. So this is body filler in a can, and it's a high bulking, so it'll go on quite heavy, but then I can sand it back. So all these areas where we've got, you know, marks going on, where I've still got the original paint and there's a very slight lip where we've got this pitting, I'm hoping this will just fill those areas in. So we'll get a coat of that on next. Oh, still finding more rot. Keep finding new areas I haven't hit too well. That's slightly upsetting. Need a good bit of filler down there. Good bit over here. I'm not sure this is going to help at all, really. Lay it on thick and hope it dries out to something I can actually do something about. But yeah, I'm going to have to work further into this window aperture. It's like I almost have a point blank refusal to actually do the job properly. But there we go. I'll let that dry. But yeah, I'm going to have to get further into this aperture, maybe in here as well. It's really highlighting where I've got unsmooth transitions into the old paint, because I really don't want to take the paint off the whole rear quarter. That feels like it's going too far. Just want to get rid of the loose flaky stuff, but the job goes on. And there we go, we have metal again. Absolutely marvellous. So thank you very much, Matt.
I kind of figured you are literally like half an hour from me, so I was like, I've got nothing to do.
Yeah, well, thank you. And now I've got more metal. My plan to chuck on spray filler and even out the paint hasn't entirely worked, so I might have to revisit that situation.
Multiple layers, lots of rubbing down.
Yes, but I might actually have to get some proper filler and give that a go. And then we can put the window back in. Sadly, I don't think we're going to achieve that this weekend, which is a shame, because there is a classic car run Sunday.
Just north of Cannock tomorrow to go and collect the windscreen from mine.
Ah.
Managed to find a brand new one.
Ooh. You're restoring an Allegro.
Building a rally car, actually.
Building a rally car out of an Allegro?
Yeah.
Wicked. That's amazing. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now we've got the primer on. And, oh, looks like that might have reacted slightly. And maybe just needs a bit of filler to finish off. Maybe I don't care, because that's going to be behind stuff anyway. And this is not going to be a concourse restoration. This is all about just stopping the rot, really, which is so much of what this car is about. Chasing rot out of it endlessly over the ages. Miss HubNut is still doing sterling work, moving stuff around as we desperately try to make space for more cars in here. Some say we should just get rid of these two, but no. That would be defeatist.
So everything here, which I put here, is going back there, so there's a distinct car space.
Yeah, and we're trying to organise it and bury stuff we don't want as much, yeah, something.
Yeah, but you're like a toddler when you tidy in that room.
What?
Ooh, ooh, I want that. I want that. It's shiny. I want it.
This may or may not be true. It's true. It's entirely true. But I'm going to put the camera down and help you actually tidy
I
up.
wonder if you'd allow me to come up here by myself and tidy.
Yes. Does that sound convincing? Yeah, that might be. Maybe I'll go over here and leave you to it then. But let that primer dry, and then we'll rub.
Quickly retracted offer of help.
Yes, rub things back and see where we are. Hopefully we can get things slightly smooth before we start chucking on some actual paint. Well, there we go. Miss HubNut's endeavours have paid off. We can get cars free abreast in this middle section now. Are you happy?
Oh, I'm very happy.
That's some good work. We're both tired. We're both in sweeping. Sweeping is remarkably tiring.
Oh, whoa.
I did some sweeping.
You did this patch here and then you went...
Yeah, but look, that's the worst bit. There's a huge puddle there.
And then you went, oh, it's so hard. I can't possibly.
Enough.
And then I did this.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'll treat you to pizza.
Oh.
Yes.
This wine.
No, I don't think wine's possible. But I've got the primer on. Didn't do a particularly good job, but this is HubNut, you expect nothing more. So we'll let that cure off, and next stage will be to slap some paint on and say that'll do. Need to do another tip run.
This is the stack to crap currently.
Yeah.
Stack to crap Mark 4.
It's amazing how much is in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, other fleet members, just a bit of an update. Giselle is kind of the classic of choice at the moment because she's the only one that works. Rita's still here, hoping collection will be in the next couple of weeks. Pt3 is still here. That needs rear brake calipers, but we're just struggling to get our hands on them at the moment, so that should be going once that's had the calipers done. And who's not here? Myrtle's away. She's not going to get paint until the end of May, so Myrtle's a long-term holiday in the Midlands. And what else have we got at home? Oh yeah, Cecily Sesank is still at home.
New speakers.
New speakers, which sound great. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I only did the ones in the front because I'm a cheapskate. And all they do is complain about our choice of music anyway, so they don't need speakers.
Oh, all they do is play their music in the back to counteract our music anyway.
Well, it's true, on their phone, so that always sounds good. Yeah, choice of technology. Right, we're going to go and we'll come back and paint Elly at some point. The other day I came up here, I was just meant to be swapping cars. We took Chemin Charade, which Miss HubNut is in and filming nonsense at the moment, and swapped Giselle in. And I hastily threw some paint at the car. I say threw, it looks like I did it with a bucket. But I shouldn't have done that. There's a couple of reasons why. One is it was too cold and the paint has run in places. Two, I really hadn't done a good enough job of the prep, and it shows. I really should have used a skim of filler to try and smooth everything out. And three, I was rushing, really rushing. That's the worst thing you can do with paint. From here, it doesn't look too bad. It is still quite blotchy. I didn't get very good coverage. That was an entire can of Halford's Citron Alpine White. It was the only can I have. Although I have got this Holtz Auto Spray, which also claims to be the same colour, I think. Yeah, Alpine White. That's quite an old can. I've no idea how long I've had that. But I suspect that'll be going on as the second coat. But before I can do that, I'm going to have to do something about the paint runs. So get some sandpaper and sort of rub these back, try and smooth them out a bit. I mean, there's all sorts of crap. There's little bits of rubbish stuck in the paint here. So I need to rub this coat down and give it another go. It looks terrible, but I don't really care. Poor Elly, she does suffer a lot. I don't give a stuff about her looks. These wings I painted with rattle cans, satin paint, to deliberately give it a matte effect, because I did not want this car ever looking perfect. And you know, there's little scabby bits of paintwork I need to sort out all over the car. I don't care. The point of this car is to use it. It is to drive her all over the world, and I'm starting to miss this car very much because she's been off the road for quite a few weeks now. So today's going to be about salvaging this paint job and getting the job somewhere nearer finished, so we can actually get Elly back on the road again. Fun times! Well, you were busy filming your TikTok shizzle. So here we are. So with salvage mode engaged, I've been working on trying to make this car better. But again, I found a little spot of rot and I've got to clean it up while I'm there. So we've taken the rear bumper bar off. Miss HubNut is cleaning it up for me because it was disgusting. It's anti-corrosion wax and road filth. It's nothing particularly bad, but yeah, might as well clean it up. And this was the latest spot. I could see rust just in this joint here. So again, been using the paint removal discs to really get in there. Although it's a struggle to get right down into this seam. But I think I'm going to have to. This is a seam 2CV's had from the factory where the light panel meets the rear sweep. The rear sweep is that line there. So it's just a difficult spot. I should have taken the bumper off ages ago really, and now you sort of see little spots of rust creeping in along here. Start thinking, should I do something about that? But we do not want to be doing a complete rebuild on this car. I do think I'm going to have to get some filler You can see where I sanded, because some of the previous paint is still in place here. Some of it has actually attached really well to the body, but there's rough marks from sanding and cutting the paint off in places. It's all looking a bit rubbish, I think is the word. So I think I am going to have to get some proper filler so I can actually smooth this out. There's also other things. All these little specks were bits that were embedded in the paint when I just chucked the primer coat on. Generally what I'm proving here is you cannot rush paintwork or it'll just look terrible. And unfortunately that's exactly what I'm doing. A few days on again, and I have the body filler. Isopon P38 multi-purpose body filler, easy to sand smooth. So that's what we want. And we've got to mix it first of all. We have to mix a golf ball size of paste with pea size of hardener, and handily they have a diagram to show you how large a golf ball and a pea are. That may not focus that close.
It did okay.
Did it? It's not usually too good on the macro. So we'll get that done. Well, here we go. Not sure how good I'm going to be at this. I think I should have mixed up more of it.
It's better to do it in small batches.
It's very true. Oh yeah, it's looking like Artex. So we'll be testing the easy sand nature of this stuff anyway. Has to be said, I think the primer has done a pretty good job of leveling this out compared to how it did look.
Looks much better.
Is there anywhere up here we need to do? Yes, a bit in there. And a bit just about here if we can. Oh yeah, now I've moved the light differently. I can see all these bits as well. Aren't very deep, but there's some marks here from earlier when I was taking the paint off. I may not have done the smoothest job of it. So hopefully this will get into some of those areas. We'll leave that to dry and see how it looks once sanded. So we're back on the 2CV today. We're a few days along. The filler had hardened beautifully, and I've just done preliminary sanding, and that's starting to feel lovely and smooth. I can feel a bit bumpy there. So I initially attacked it with this sanding disc in a drill. I don't know if that's the right way of doing it, but it was a chunky mess, that filler. So I had to take all the hard edges off. And then final filler, or not, it's not final, but I'm on these strips of something fairly abrasive. They're actually twice as wide, but very, very strong again. So that's taken a good amount. That's got us down to fairly flat. I might just do a bit more with that. All I'm doing is literally rubbing it in fingers, but with both hands, which is very difficult to do one-handed, but I'm just loosely doing that, and we seem to be getting a really nice shape going on. You can still see some sanding marks here from the aggressive discs, so there's still some work to do a bit more sanding and try and get this smooth. And there's also some bits here in the paint, so I'm going to go with a fairly aggressive strips over all of it, then we'll start going to finer and finer paper. Well, there we go, we're back in primer again, and it's looking better. It's still looking a bit ropey. Some really nasty, oops, just touched it, that helps. Sanding marks right there. You can see where the podge is coming through there, and yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but I think it's a lot better than it was. Not necessarily before I started, but certainly better than my first attempt at painting it. So I'm going to have a cup of tea and let this primer coat dry. We'll give that a sand and see where we are. By the way, how moody does that sky look? I love it when the foreground is sunny and the background is frankly terrifying. Please don't rain on my car while I'm painting it, because the paint fumes aren't very healthy, so doing it outside seems a good idea to me. It rained, thankfully without destroying my paintwork. I've just given it a bit of a key. I mean, it's rubbish really, but what am I going to do? I'll just give it a wipe down now to get the dust off, and at least the rain will be reducing the dust that is airborne at the moment. We'll pull it back out and get some paint on. The paint, incidentally, is not there. That's pizza. It's on tuck. It's only small cans actually. I thought this was going to be a bit bigger, so I hope I'm going to get the coverage out of these. It claims up to twice the coverage. Compressed aerosol technology. Citroen Alpine White. Shake can vigorously for 2 minutes. And so it's by High Coat. For best results, use primer. Well, I have. So we'll give that a go, and hopefully you will, oh, there's an axle stand there. We'll get some coverage, and then at some point we can start reassembling her once the stuff's dry again. Side window, I'll probably do what we did last time. I've got a new section of washing line, spray a load of anti-corrosion wax around that opening, then hopefully we can pull the window in. It's never easy, but we'll see how we go. Well, there we go, got the second coat on. I've just given it a go over with the hot air gun just to try and cure it, but didn't do so well on that one. I've got a big run right here, another one here, so I got a bit heavy handed with that application, which is slightly annoying, but we shall let that dry. We shall try and sand those back, and then we'll try and give it another light coat over the top. I think I've got enough left for another light coat, perhaps not of all areas, but we're getting there. Starting to look like a 2CV again, and actually painted 2CV. Now I know this is getting into quite a long-winded video really, but I just don't want to leave it hanging. I want to actually get the job done. So this is why this one has been filmed over a number of weeks. It's taken a long time to come together, and I know this is turning into a long video, but so be it. Incidentally, all the brown you can see is anti-corrosion wax. So it doesn't matter, I've got a bit of paint on it. I don't really care what the inside of the wheel arch looks like. No one will know, no one will ever see it, apart from this video. Once the wings back on, that's out of sight, out of mind. I'll be putting fresh coat of wax all over the inside of the arch. You see I'm protecting Giselle as well from any stray paint. But yeah, bit more to do on paint. We're getting there, and then we can start bolting her back together again. I don't think that's going to happen today, sadly. It is window fitting time. I have some clear wax which I'm hoping will act as a lubricant. Some people recommend using soapy water, but be mindful washing liquid often has salt in it. That's not what you want anywhere near a car. I used wax last time, so I'm going to go for it again. This does go sticky with time, but it's very slippy when it's freshly applied. So we shall apply that to the aperture and then try and fit the rubber seal, which is currently stewing in a bucket. Miss HubNut has kindly prepared a bucket. We've got the seal in a bag because, again, I don't want too much moisture in the seal itself, so we're hoping that'll work.
Patented HubNut technology.
Yeah, brand new technology here, people. I think we probably better have a go. Let's get the seal out. I'm going to spray that at the last minute, so I'll get the washing line. We bought brand new washing line for this, plastic coated washing line.
Do you want to explain what you're doing with that?
Yeah, I'm going to insert that into the seal once the seal is out of the bag. Okay, rotate. This is certainly a job that is much easier with two people. Remember, the biggest challenge I've ever had with one of these windows was actually the windscreen on Foxanne. So Martin kindly came down to help me with that. Hopefully that will be right. See if we can overlap them slightly. Yeah, there we go. Super. So now I'm going to wax the aperture to try and help this slide in, and also try and stop it from rusting. Right, and hold that against the car. I'll try and find the best way in. Oh, I should have cleared all this crap out the way. That might have been helpful. This is HubNut. Right, so let's try and get...
Almost like you go up this way a little. Up.
Yeah, we're not getting in here. Oh, we might have to have a second go at this. I think we...
Okay, better to do it twice.
We've blown it.
Let's do it twice.
As you say, we're going to get it
That
right
top,
up there.
It's literally got to be there.
Yeah. See if we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something better. Oh, we haven't got this in.
Nope.
Both of those need to be in. Right, how are we doing?
Okay.
That's got to come in. Let's get window in as much as possible, close to the seal.
That feels scary.
It's alright, glass is surprisingly strong,
Yeah.
he said with famous last words. Let's try and really get that into the aperture. We're not in enough down here. Let's do it again. Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Right. Yeah. Ah!
I didn't get your fingers, did it?
No, I was just excited at the noise that sounded like it went in.
Let's see how we do this time. Oh, good workout that, but we got there. I got wax everywhere, but the seal is in. Pulling it in, not very easy. I've kind of ended up pulling it in almost with my fingers to get it in that bottom bit and just pushing hard all the way around, almost to try and roll the seal into the car. It isn't a very good seal, but the aftermarket ones, I've been told, aren't much cop either. Can be very difficult. So that's done, and this is why we've had to wait a couple of days from paint, because you're getting fingerprints and stuff all over this. We've probably taken the paint off the aperture itself, which is why I wanted to use the anti-corrosion wax. But yeah, feels like progress, and Miss HubNut is just getting ready so we can start putting the bumper on. I've got the rear lights reattached already, they're tested and working, and I'll do some waxing, more waxing before I put the wing back on. But yeah, what was that?
Filler's there.
The filler, right. Remember that, everybody, the filler is on that shelf with the paint fittingly.
They will remember.
Sensible place for it.
Because they're very good at that.
This is true. Right, we shall find the fixings for the rear bumper and get that back on. I don't know why the jump leads are in there.
Should we take some with us?
Yes, maybe?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, we've got various trips away. I'm going away in Giselle tomorrow. Today's Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to the Chevronics Centre in Hitchin.
She's going to have some love.
Yeah, service and sort out a couple of leaks, and just generally give her a good checking over by people who actually know what they're doing. I've known of Chevronics for a very long time. They've never been there, so I'm very excited. So we'll spend a couple of days there. Probably. They did. It was in the news. They had a bomb scare. Not as you think from a Citroen Sphere looking like a grenade. It was an actual 1930s Japanese grenade. I'm not sure how Rob got his hands on that. So that's happening this week. We're meant to be going away in Elly this weekend, which is now looking on because we've got the window in and we can actually get her ready. We'll see how that goes. But if we decide it's all too much getting 4 of us and 2 dogs in poor Elly, we'll take Giselle instead. But I haven't done many miles in Elly and I would really like to do some. I'm waffling.
I'm rather excited about the challenge.
Yeah, so we'll finish bolting it together and then we can call that job done. Seem to have lost the sound file here, so a bit of voiceover, but this is the finished job. And from this distance it looks absolutely fine. Miss HubNut doing cleaning as ever. But yeah, there we go. I am fairly pleased with it. Well, there we go. Elly's back on the road. The paint job may not be perfect. I don't care. My fun comes from driving this car, not necessarily doing body work on it. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry this one's been a bit long-winded, but we had to get to a stage where it was done. So yeah, thanks for your patience. Don't forget you can head to the HubNut store and buy lovely merchandise of various types, some of it 2CV related. And I look forward to seeing you in a future video. I'm going home now for some lunch. Bye!